16 Oscar nominations, a number that's not just a record, it's a declaration of war on traditional cinema. Ryan Coogler's Sinners just obliterated the records held by Titanic and La La Land, but what the Academy isn't telling you is what it truly cost. I'm not talking budget. I'm talking about Michael B. Jordan pushed beyond the limits of physical endurance and a production that nearly derailed amid obsessive, almost maniacal technical choices. What you see on screen is a miracle of cinematic engineering. But what happened in the Louisiana swamps? That was, in many ways, a horror movie all its own. It all started with a radical vision shared between Coogler and his director of photography, Autumn Durald Archipel. Initially, they wanted to shoot everything on 16mm to get that feverish, grainy texture of 70s noir. But they hit a major technical wall. To have Michael B. Jordan act against himself as twin brothers required visual effects with surgical precision. 16mm was too small, too unstable, too jittery, so they swung to the opposite extreme, a monumental mix of 35mm, 65 and 70mm formats. To preserve the vintage soul of the project, Archipel worked with Dan Sasaki at Panavision to create custom spherical lenses. These lenses were modified, deliberately dirtied in the lab, to react to candlelight and create organic flares that modern technology usually corrects out. It's the paradox of Sinners, using the world's most expensive technology to simulate the dust of the past. But the real challenge was IMAX. Coogler wanted Mississippi to feel like an endless ocean, and only this format could deliver that monumental scale. There's a problem though. IMAX cameras scream. Not an exaggeration. People who worked on the Sinners set confirm those cameras sound like lawnmowers running inches from the actors' faces. To move film stock that size with the necessary speed and stability requires mechanical power that destroys every trace of clean audio. During action sequences and intense dialogue, ambient sound was completely unusable. The cast had to reconstruct almost every single word in studio, months after shooting. It wasn't simple dubbing. It was total emotional reconstruction done in the dark of a recording booth. Trying to recapture adrenaline, the camera noise had literally devoured on set. And then there's him, Michael B. Jordan. Playing Smoke and Stack Moore wasn't just a stylistic exercise. Coogler brought in consultants, directors Noah and Logan Miller, real-life twins, to analyze the micro-expressions and nonverbal body language that connects two brothers. Jordan lived in a state of constant split identity. He kept separate journals, used different colognes for each character, and acted for weeks against empty air or a stand-in who'd later be erased in post. Smoke is trauma. Stack is the mask. A mirrored performance that wore Jordan down physically, leading to a postural transformation that became one of the strongest points in his race for Best Actor. The technical departments weren't far behind. Ruth E. Carter, now the most nominated black woman in Oscar history, did real archaeology. She didn't buy fabric, she created it. Costumes were left in the Mississippi sun for weeks, then smoked in actual juke joints to absorb the smell of tobacco and sweat. She insisted actors wear period-accurate undergarments, stiff and uncomfortable, because only then would they walk with the posture of the 1930s. Meanwhile, production designer Hannah Beach was sampling actual Delta soil. She wanted the dust kicked up by wagons in the film to have the exact chromatic shade of local earth. It's this maniacal obsession, this layering of invisible details, that the Academy rewarded with 16 nominations. Sinners is a vampire movie, yes, but it's really a sociological treatise on segregation and America's original sin. Coogler elevated a genre often dismissed into a monumental historical document. Will it win everything? The record 16 nominations suggest yes. But the real victory is proving that genre cinema, when backed by technique this extreme, has no boundaries. What do you think? Is this a masterpiece or an overly ambitious exercise in style? Drop it in the comments, subscribe to Mr. Sign Theory, and we'll see you in the next breakdown.